We're not on Plastic Beach, but I still dare you to feel good. Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, it helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So, that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. With that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to, let me get this title right, The Mountain, the Moon Cave, and the Sad God. A like 8.5 or so minute short film by Gorillaz. So if you don't know who Gorillaz are you living under a rock? Gorillaz are a band made by Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett. The band themselves are fully animated. The music is done mostly by Damon Albarn and some other musicians with some guests here and there. Jamie Hewlett does the art, the character designs and whatnot. And Gorillaz are a band that have been around since the 2000s. I believe, I think their first album came out in maybe 2001 or so. But they've been around. And Gorillaz are a pretty unique band because their style changes pretty much every album. They keep this kind of like rap, hip-hop, R&B kind of vibe to a lot of their music, but then some of their music also has more of a poppy sound. Some of it is more alternative, and they kind of blend genres. That's kind of one of their big things. They don't want to be constrained by one genre, so they blend a lot of different styles together. I have been following Gorillaz since the music video for their song Feel Good Inc. came out, which I want to say was in 2005. I saw that video on TV because around that time I was like super big in, maybe it wasn't 2000, was it 2010? But either way, around the time when that came out, I was super big into watching music videos on, those channels that would just play music videos all the time. I don't know if those still exist, but I want to see when this came out. 2005, I was right. And I would I would tape them and stuff, and that was one that I listened to a lot. I was really big into Feel Good Inc. And one of the biggest reasons I liked it so much was because not only was the song catchy and very interesting, but I also liked the animation and how the video blended some live action in there as well. because the art style for Gorillaz has a very unique style to it. It's very much its own thing. It doesn't look or feel like anything else in terms of its design work, in terms of the facial expressions. None of it looks like anything you've seen anywhere else. And I love that it's that unique to this day. Another thing that over the years I've grown to love about Gorillaz is that the characters age as the years go by. The characters are fully animated, fully like fictional and everything. You have 2D, real name Stu Potts. He's the front man and the voice of Gorillaz. You have the guitarist, Murdoch, who's kind of crazy in it. Or is Murdoch bass? I keep feeling like I mess that up every time. Like I feel like I mess that up more than you would believe. I keep like getting confused. Is Murdoch or Noodle bass? One of them is bass, one's guitar, and I don't know why I messed that up. Murdoch is bass. Okay. Murdoch is the bass player. He's kind of crazy, kind of cringe, kind of like creepy. He gets involved in all kinds of like satanic stuff, and like a lot of times is the more like edgy member of the group. While Stu, 2D, is a lot more like soft spoken and quiet and kind. You also have let's go to the guitarist next, Noodle. Noodle is a Japanese girl who was shipped by, I think it was just FedEx, to Kong Studios, where the Gorillaz, perform from and everything, or did at one point. Because there is actual lore to the Gorillaz, by the way. But she became the guitarist for the band, and she started as like this young girl. Now she's an adult currently, because again, they age up as the years actually go by, like realistically. And then you have Russell Hobbs, who is the drummer, who has been possessed by ghosts. Is a pretty chill guy most of the time. But yeah, he's had some unwanted company in his head, we'll say. Like Del the Funky Homo Sapien, as an example. There's been a couple other members of the band, like there was a cyborg Noodle at one point. There was also Ace from the Gangrene Gang from Powerpuff Girls, like literally the same character from Powerpuff Girls. Because Gorillaz like takes place within the same continuity as that, funny enough. So Ace from the Gangrene Gang became a replacement for Murdoch for like a single album, I believe it was. And so on and so forth. And there's a lot of lore behind the characters, and you see the characters, like I said, age up, and you see their new looks every album, and it's pretty great. They have a new album coming out this year, and this short film, I think, is like an advertisement for that. I think the album's called The Mountain. I think, from what I've seen, Murdoch is starting a cult, which, yeah, that sounds about right. Something like that. But I don't know anything about this short film. All I know is that it's focused on the Gorillaz, the characters, and I guess their interactions with each other. The characters have been voiced by, I think there's a couple different VAs for some of them, but I think most of them have had the same VAs for the most part. Like I said, Damon Albarn does the singing. He's like, 2D's vocal singing voice, but I don't know who does the like regular speaking voice for him. But you might also know Damon Albarn from the band Blur. He's also the front man of Blur. So there's that too, but yeah, I don't know any of the voice actors by name. But I'm very interested to see like what we actually get with this. Like for 8.5 minutes, I'm very curious to see like what this short entails. I assume it's going to be related to the lore of where the gorillas are at right now, which, by the way, is very hard to keep track of. I have not always been great at keeping up with the lore. So we're just going to watch this, see what it's like, and hopefully enjoy the music, because I assume there's going to be some good music with it as well. Those of you watching on YouTube who are seeing these pre-thoughts and all, hope you enjoy it. For those, well, I can't say for those who are watching on Patreon because they're not seeing this, but the afterthoughts, we'll just talk about it, and I'll share my thoughts that I don't get out during the reaction, or I'll expand upon what I say in the reaction. Either way, let's get into this and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. Welcome to the Afterthoughts. We'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I wanted to look this up, but I was kind of right. So I said I thought that their debut album came out in 2001, and it did. But they did have the Tomorrow Comes Today EP that was released in 2000. However, the band was actually founded in 1998. They were already performing in 1998. They just didn't come out with their first release in terms of an EP and then an album until the 2000s. And so I wanted to look up the ages as well. See if I could find this real quick. So they do have canon birthdays. 2D is May 23rd, 1978. Murdoch is the oldest, June 6th, 1966. Noodle is October 31st. She was born on Halloween in 1990. So Noodle's actually just only a couple years older than me. And Russell is June 3rd, 1975. So that means in phase 1, which was in 2000, 2D is 22, Murdoch is 34, Noodle is 10, and Russell is 25. So yeah, they're all in their 20s to 30s except for Noodle at that time, because again, she was a kid. But let me see if I can find more currently. Because trying to do the math there would be difficult for me. Okay, so 2D is currently 47. I was saying he was about 50, so I was pretty much right. 3 years short. But also, fun fact for you, it was recently confirmed that 2D is also non-binary. He, they pronouns, by the way. So, little fun fact, I actually kind of forgot about that because it's only been mentioned, I think, once at this point. But yeah, 2D is non-binary as well. So 47 for them. Murdoch is currently 59. Murdoch is almost 60 years old. Honestly, he still kind of looks good for his age. if we're being completely honest here. He doesn't look 60 years old. Russell is 50. Russell still looks pretty young for his age, too. Noodle, meanwhile, is 35. So yeah, just a couple years older than me. She's the youngest of the group. And definitely my favorite, just in terms of design. And I know it's like, oh, your favorite's the girl, but I like her design the most. Like Murdoch's design is like it works for his character. It's creepy. It's weird. Russell is very like simple, like not counting their different outfits and stuff, just their general design. Russell is very simple. There's not a lot to him. 2D's design is most notable with his eyes, because the 2D stands for like two dents, because his eyes were dented in. Um, but it's like his eyes are his most notable feature, but otherwise he's pretty normal too, except for the blue hair. Um, Noodle and 2D are definitely my favorites, though. 2D is just a cutie patootie. Despite being like almost 50 years old, he's a cutie patootie. And Noodle's just great. She has so much personality and character, and it's grown, it's changed, it's developed as we've gone along. She's definitely different than how she was as a kid or even a teenager. We're seeing like that notable growth, and I like that. Um, but yeah, I'm very interested to see where this album goes. And I think I heard one song off it. I can't remember what it was though. It was like I think the first single they released for it, and I haven't heard any since. Let me see when the album actually comes out, because I'm actually not sure about that. Discography. It is called The Mountain. I know it comes out this year, but I want to look up specific day. Oh, it's actually out. It came out on February 27th. I'm gonna have to listen to it. I thought it was coming out in either March or May for some reason. I'm gonna have to listen to the full thing. According to this, the first single that was released was The Happy Dictator. That might have been the one that I've heard then. Oh, okay. According to this, David Jalacour, who was part of this and is part of the album as well, is part of De La Soul. I've heard of De La Soul. But yeah, I'm going to have to look up this album and listen to it, because if the songs in this were part of that, or even just a sign of the songs from the album and the kind of vibe we're going to get, I think I'm going to really like this one. There's been a couple of albums for the Gorillaz that I haven't really liked as much. There's been a couple albums that just didn't really quite work as well for me. And in most cases, it's just like you pick and choose the songs that you like. Not everyone's going to work. But I like their debut album, which was also just called Gorillaz. I love Demon Days. Pretty much everyone agrees Demon Days is one of their best, if not their best. Plastic Beach in 2010 was another really good one. But after that, they kind of had some that were like kind of mixed for me. They had The Fall. That one also out in 2010, which just wasn't as great, I believe. Humans had some mixed success for me. Um, the Now was more like The Fall. It just didn't quite work for me for the most part. Um, in 2020, they had Song Machine, Season 1, Strange Times, and most of the songs from that were great. I really love Desolate, for example. Cracker Island in 2023 was another mixed one, and I haven't heard The Mountain yet, so I'm very excited to hear this new one and hear what kind of stuff they've got going on for them in this. I really just I love their music in general, but again, not every song's gonna work for me, and that's the case with most artists. The animation and art in this short film was gorgeous. It was beautiful, and it shows how much it's how far it's come. Like you go back and look at like their early works, their early videos for like Clint Eastwood or Tomorrow Comes Today, or what's that other one I'm trying to think of? I can't think of it. It's the one that says like "Get the real shoe shine" or whatever the fuck. Um, I think it's from their first album. Hold on, let me see if I can. 19 to 2000, that's what it was. Or Rock the House, that's another example you could use. You look back at those music videos and you see the art, and it's great. It's absolutely fantastic, and it has great stylization, which I always love. But you compare it to the art that we have nowadays, and it's like just night and day. The art nowadays is like just so drastically improved with the characters, with the expressions, the overall the overall like background visuals. They've done like so much improvement over the years, and I love that. To talk about like the actual events of this, so we see Noodle as a kid running around, just being a kid, and it transitions to her now as an adult, and she meets up with her friends as they're scaling the mountain, and that's pretty much what this seems to be. The band is scaling the mountain, which is where the lore of this all takes place around. Again, I'm not like 100% locked in with the lore as to where it's at right now, so apologies if I don't know all the details or much of any details. I'd have to try to catch back up on that. But yeah, uh, I like seeing their interactions. And there was that one moment where it looked like Noodle said to specifically Russell and 2D. If I was reading her mouth movements correctly, because there was no actual voice acting in this, it looked like she was saying, "I love you too." And it very much looked to be the case of like she's like really bonding with them lately. They're really connecting. I think she and 2D have always had a pretty good relationship, but it's good to see that relationship with Russell as well. But I love that it specifically focuses on them and not Murdoch, because Murdoch is definitely the odd man out of the group. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's kind of a psychopath. He's sadistic and weird, and a bit of a just general creep. Um, and honestly, it just makes sense that Noodle wouldn't quite vibe with him. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed kind of what they have done with this. It was simple, but it was what it needed to be. Like, voice acting could have been nice, but honestly, I kind of like that there was none, that it just let the music speak. I enjoyed the visuals a lot. I love just the character moments. Seeing like 2D have this look of awe and wonder as he's looking at the mountain and stuff. Noodles like shocked expression when it transitions to her as an adult and she realizes she's not wearing anything besides like the cape and all. It's like that was kind of adorable and funny. And it's like, yeah, it's like there's some really good expressions here. Murdoch's reaction to the Riverman just smiling at him was fun. The Riverman smile in the first place was fun. It's just I just really liked this, and I'm gonna definitely go and listen to the full album after this, and hopefully I end up liking this one more than some of the others. Hopefully this one has more hits than misses for me. Um, but again, if the music from if this short is anything to go by, I think it will, because the music here was really great. Um, but I'd love to hear what you think. What do you think of the art and animation for this? Have you seen a lot of Gorilla's music videos and animations prior? Let me know what your thoughts are on the music. Let me know your thoughts on just this video in general. And if you are a fan of Gorillaz, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the band. Like, what are some of your favorite songs? I personally like the likes of El Manana. I also really love, of course, Feel Good Inc. and Dare. Um, there's just a lot. There's so many. Desolate, like I mentioned before, was a really good one. Trying to remember all of them off the top of my head is not always easy, but you know, those are just a few examples for you. 19 to 2000, I actually really like. Um, but yeah, tell me your thoughts down below, and thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.